What's up, people of the universe? It is now time to talk about Steins Gate 0 because episode 1 dropped out today. Dropped out? I don't know. It dropped today. There we go. It dropped today, and I personally haven't played the game, so I don't know the storyline or knew it beforehand. So I'm coming into this brand new, and man, is there tons to talk about. So I'll give a little bit of, if you've never seen it before, and if you've never seen Steins Gate, then I suggest you first go watch Steins Gate and then come back and listen to this review, because otherwise you're not really gonna understand what's happening in this first episode, because it just goes in there obviously implying that you already seen Steins Gate, because it takes place in one of the beta timelines in which Okabe inadvertently kills Kurisu, and he stops going back in time and trying to save everything. So this is one of those timelines where he's just basically now accepted that he can't change anything, and has basically lived with the guilt of being, I guess, again, inadvertently killing Kurisu with the knife. So that's where this takes place. And I believe before you even get to the timeline that it's talking about, it shows you a scene in the future in 2036. I think it's June 7th, where Mayuri is talking with Suzuha before she's about to go back in time. Just kind of giving this interesting dialogue. If I only held out this hand. I'm not sure at this point what she's implying or what she's talking about, but just saying that things could have been different if she had done something, which is, she said, held out her hand. But then it cuts back to the time that we're going to go into, which is in 2010, and about 6 months has passed since the incident with Okabe and Kurisu, and at this point he is a completely different person. Like, if you remember him from Steins Gate, from the original one, as he was this like eccentric, self-proclaimed mad scientist who would go to his lab all the time. He'd wear his white coat. He fit that part perfectly, and it was done great in the Japanese dub and also in the English dub. And now what you see him, like, he's just in all black. He doesn't have, well, I don't remember him having like a, what's it called, a very animated voice in Japanese. I can't remember. I know in English he did, but in this one it just sounds very normal. And the reason for that is because he stopped going. He hasn't gone to his lab since that incident, and he's going to like hypnotherapy, going to all these different type of therapy to cope with what he has gone through. And now he like does seminars at the university, and he's in the tennis club. I was like, what the freak? Like, that's so out of character for him, but it seems like he's trying to revert and overcorrect from what he was, and doesn't have anything to do with being a self-proclaimed mad scientist and doing all that stuff that he did before. Now he does still meet up with Mayuri, and they actually go and meet up with what's their name, Ruka and Faris, and you find out that he like also goes out like on group dates, which I don't think it's like he goes out with a girl per se, but he goes out with friends, is what they're saying. He goes on these friends with both mixed with boys, with men and women, and that's what he refers to as these group dates that he goes on. And we still have Suzuha there, which we have this really cool moment where he does finally go back to the lab for a bit, and he goes to the roof with Suzuha, and they start talking about how because she is still there, nothing in the future has changed. World War III is going to happen. People are going to die. I think 5.7 billion is what they said of the population gets killed off. So she's still saying we can still fix this. We can still prevent this from happening. And he goes into this rant basically saying like you can't go back in time without consequences, and he's done that. So he said, I've jumped through so many timelines, I understand that far better than anyone else, and I'm done. I don't want to do that anymore. And Suzuha obviously is upset about this, and she even tells him like, I'll give you time to answer me, to give me an actual good answer, because she still hasn't given up, because she still wants to save her her timeline. Like she goes into detail about her mom, who helped her like put herself in front of I think it was a drone. They said that shot her down, or that like they said mowed her down with a machine gun. And she said it was it sounded so tragic, and it just hurt your heart because it says that Suzuha had her mom's blood like spilled all over her, and she just wants to, fix the future that she comes from, which makes sense. So that was a big part, knowing that he has given up and he doesn't want to try again. But as always, with any sequel to an anime or whatever, there has to be something that makes him go back to doing that. And this happens in the third part, or the third act of the episode, where he's at this, I guess he's like at an information booth, giving information like where to go for the college seminar that's happening. And he meets up with this little girl who looks like she's 12. And they have this, this comedic moment where he's like, oh, well, if, this is for college. She's like, I know. He's like, oh, here's my badge. She's like, oh, if you're going to return this. Like, no. And she turns it over and shows that it's her badge, and her name is Maho. And she's saying that she's going to be at the seminar. And then what happens as she's going to the room for the conference, we have Okabe see Moeka, which, if you remember, she is the one that assassinated Mafuri. Mafuri? I keep saying her name wrong. No, it's Mayuri. Sorry, not Mafuri. Mayuri, who shoots down Mayuri. And so he's kind of freaking out. It's like, what is she doing here? But he remembers, no, this is a beta timeline. Like, the timeline that he was originally on isn't affected in this one. But anyway, so he goes to the seminar, and he sees the scientist Maho interpreting for an American scientist whose name is Alexis. And basically what in this seminar they talk about Kurisu, and about how, her theory that she had, and about artificial intelligence and where memories are stored in the brain. And they basically said, well, because of her theory, we have created this artificial intelligence program that thinks and it feels like a human, has human emotions, and memories and all that, and they call it Project Amadeus. And then they're about to reveal what it is, and then the episode ends. I really think that Amadeus, I think they're gonna pattern the AI, or the what's it called, the avatar of the AI of Kurisu. Now I don't know what they're gonna do with this, because I haven't played the game. But I think he's gonna get involved somehow, whether it's with testing or with maybe not him exactly being involved directly, but trying to find out what he can do with this information. And I think this is gonna help him get back into going into the lab, helping Suzuha, although I don't know how. But you guys will just have to see. That it was a good episode. It's so much darker and so much dreary than the first one. Like the comedy was still there, like it was still fun to watch, but it was just, you see him as this shell of what he was before, and it sucks to see him that way. But granted, I understand, having to see the girl that he loves, the woman that he loves, get killed, and it's kind of his fault. I mean, not directly, but we went over that. But that would suck. That would hurt so bad. So I don't know. I think it was a great episode. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. No, let's go to 9. We're gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I can't wait to see it next week, to see how all this unfolds. I didn't hear that song too much. I think they played at the end of the credits. I think it's the same person, the same singer as the one who did Steins Gate, but I'm not entirely sure. They didn't have any of the opening animations or anything. It just showed the credits and the song playing. But great one. I'll give you. I wish I could give you information on the preview, but they didn't show one. So that's it for today. Let me know if you liked Steins Gate episode 1 of Steins Gate 0. Leave it in the comments below of the video. If you have any other anime you want me to review, just let me know. And this is David the Smash Fan from Chibi Podcast, and I'm out.
It's yours!